Hey everyone, my name is Megan and this is Painted and Distressed. Today I have a fun project for you where I'm going to show you how we're going to take two Dollar Tree canvas art prints and turn them into a ginormous piece of artwork. I hope you enjoy. So first thing, I'm going to take this sign that I originally got from Hobby Lobby on clearance for $5, and during Christmas I made this Hobby Lobby dupe and I loved it. I really loved it. It's so huge and I loved it. However, I needed in that same spot that I carried that I hung, that Merry Christmas sign, I actually needed a piece of year-round artwork to go in that spot on the wall. So I decided to take apart the sign. So that's all I'm doing right here is just taking it apart and smoothing it out. And the Christmas part on the bottom, that's just painted. And so luckily it's not vinyl or anything like that, so I didn't have to worry about that. So I'm just making sure that all the little wood pieces that chipped off are making it smooth, and I'm getting those off. And then the beads were hot glued very well on the sign, so it took a little bit of pressure, but I was able to get it all off. So once everything was off, then I just gave a quick little sanding just to smooth out the entire surface. This isn't really necessary, but I just wanted to have a nice clean surface to work with. And then we're going to take these two beautiful pieces of canvas from Dollar Tree, and all I'm going to do, because they're just stapled onto a piece of wood, and all I'm going to do is just remove all of the staples and remove them from the canvas. And this was super easy to do, and they came right off. They were a little uneven. The sizing of them, they weren't exactly the same size, but for what we're going to do with this sign, that's okay. So at first I thought I was going to use the sign in its entirety, even where it was folded over, and so I was just going to trim off the little white space on the end of there. And then I decided that since they are uneven and then there's those creases, and I didn't want to get out the iron and do all that, so then I just decided to cut off the pieces where there was that crease, and then to try to get them to be the same size as close as possible. Which again, what's so great about this project is that nothing has to be perfect, and you can be a little sloppy, and so that's what I really actually like about this project. So once I had both signs cut down to size, I decided to take out my Waverly White chalk paint and just do a quick light layer over the bright red Christmas paint. These canvas art pieces are a little thin, and so you could see the red underneath, so that's why I did that part. And then I'm just taking some fabric Mod Podge, and then I am just using actually a Mod Podge paintbrush it was my first time using it. It actually worked quite well. I didn't even know they made those. And so I'm just doing a nice even layer on the back of both canvases and attaching it to the frame. And I'm also using this brayer tool that's also from Mod Podge, just to make sure there's no bubbles and to make sure that it's completely flat. You can use regular Mod Podge as well. You don't have to use fabric. I just wanted to try it out. They had sent it to me, and so I just wanted to give it a whirl and see how well it worked. It is thicker than regular Mod Podge, because I'm always curious to know if there's a difference with all the different types of Mod Podge. This particular one is definitely thicker, and it most definitely I think will work better, because sometimes I do have issues with Mod Podge and fabric. So then I'm just doing a nice even layer on the top of the pictures as well, I just want to make sure that these lay flat and they are seamless and even and they don't move. And then once I had those adhered and the Mod Podge was dry, I got out my joint compound. Now, this stuff is so much fun to work with. I like it better than spackle because it is thicker and it's a little bit easier to work with, but you can most definitely use spackle for this project, but I don't think it will give the same texture as the joint compound. And I just picked this up at Walmart. It was really inexpensive, but everywhere I've looked lately, I keep seeing these beautiful artworks that have this texture on them, and I think they just look so cool. And I thought, well, how I could most definitely achieve that look using joint compound, and so that's what I'm doing. And so I'm not necessarily. It doesn't have to be even. It doesn't have to. I feel that the more indentions that you use in it, the cooler it looks. And so I'm just using one of those Dollar Tree vinyl machine scraper tools, or it's like a spatula. And I found that this worked really well at laying out the joint compound. And so I'm just going to go around the entire sign, and I do go over as you can see there, over the actual artwork as well, because I kind of wanted it to look like it was peeking through the joint compound. And this does dry white, so that's how you know it is dry. And I am using a very heavy hand in thick layers, because I wanted as much texture as possible, because I think that looks cool. But you can do anything that you want. You can also, if you can't find artwork that you like at Dollar Tree, you can easily just print. If you find something online, you can most definitely print it out on just regular printer paper, and attach it to a sign like this. And then you can just add the joint compound around it, or you can get it printed at Staples or somewhere like that. But Dollar Tree has really been stepping up their game with their artwork, and I was pleasantly surprised when I saw these two pieces. So once I had the entire sign completely saturated in the joint compound and I was happy with the way it looked, then I just did a light sanding. This step is not necessarily necessary, but I just wanted to make sure that any holes that came out or anything like that, or if there was any, I just wanted to make sure it was smooth, because I definitely wanted to paint over it. And I just decided to get out my Waverly White chalk paint and paint it white. I have a lot of blues in my house. I have a lot of whites, a lot of white walls, and I liked the contrast with the cream and blue flowers and the white, as well as I loved the color of the frame also. But this would be really cool, in any color. But I liked how the white was really showing the different scalloped pieces and the different texture as well. So I just used a smaller brush to go around the sign or the artwork, just to make sure that I didn't get any on the actual art piece, any paint. But in the event that I did, I just took a wet wipe and quickly got it off, and I didn't have any problems with any staining or anything like that. So then I just continued to go around the entire sign and cover it, and I only had to do one coat of the chalk paint to get the desired look that I wanted. And I'm just using a regular fluffy brush, and it was easy to get into the grooves and everything like that, and give the look that I was going for. This is such an easy and inexpensive project to do that has such a big impact. This sign is almost 3 feet wide, and it's about 2 inches tall. That's a decent size sign that I spent about, I originally spent $5 on the sign, and then the 2 frames were $1.25 each. So, you know, $2.50 along with the frame. So under $10 I spent, and I got this ginormous sign and piece of artwork for my house. And I had so much fun making it as well. I really enjoyed it, and this is how it turned out. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Are you going to try something like this? Have you tried something like this? And what do you think of the final result? And this is just a little close-up just to show you how those turned out. And I purposely left them a little uneven, even though I spent so much time cutting them at the beginning. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I very much appreciate it. And if you did enjoy this video, if you could please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.